AFC game in November, AFC North game is normally pretty. It always gets pretty ugly. For the Baltimore Ravens going to Cleveland to play the Cleveland Browns over the past 4 to 5 years, it's been really ugly. In fact, the Ravens before this win, they lost, I believe, 3 of their last 4 meetings in Cleveland. They haven't swept the Cleveland Browns within the division since 2020. So that just goes to show you how competitive the AFC North is, no matter how many wins the teams may have. Those divisional rivals, those divisional games, they're tougher than you think. I expected another ugly game, and that's exactly what we got. Myles Garrett continues to be the terror that he's always been and just makes the game like just frightening for any offensive line. And as a fan, I was watching saying, like, can someone please block Myles Garrett? Can someone please put 2 guys over there? The thing is, the Ravens did try to block Myles Garrett. There was just nothing they could do about it because that's just how great Myles Garrett is as an individual. That's how great this defense has been. People wanted to harp on like Lamar Jackson's stats the last couple of games. No, they haven't been great. They've been okay, enough to get the job done. But you have to understand that Lamar's gone against 2 of the most aggressive defenses in the NFL. In Cleveland's case, a defense has been in the top 3 basically the entire season, despite the fact of the poorest quarterback play they've had. This was one of Lamar's worst games of his career by far in terms of QBR and stats anyway. This was the first game that he actually had 0 passing touchdowns and 2 interceptions. We've never seen a game like that from Lamar. But if it was going to happen, it makes sense that it would happen against a nasty Cleveland defense like this like tough games have been in Cleveland. We've seen Lamar do some heroic stuff in Cleveland to pull off a win for the Ravens when they desperately needed it. And this was the same situation, this past Sunday. The game had its critical moments, and when they came, Lamar Jackson made the plays necessary. The slant to DeAndre Hopkins, a pinpoint pass to get it to 3rd and inches, that swing pass out to Keaton Mitchell to keep the chains moving. Just little plays here and there where you gotta have it. Those gotta have situations. I thought Lamar did a great job in those situations, just making sure that to keep the drive going. Just try to keep the offense on the field because the defense is playing yet another pretty damn good game despite the circumstances and having a pick 6, being down early. The defense did a great job keeping the Ravens in the game by getting stops when he needed to. The Cleveland didn't score a touchdown on offense. The only touchdown he had was the pick 6 on defense. Yeah, you start to wonder is Lamar 100%. We haven't seen him really like get a burst of speed too consistently watching him run the football like we're used to. We're not sure. I don't believe he's still hurt. We don't know. If he could at this point in the season, I think everybody's playing through some kind of injury that fans may not know about, or teams may not report. They ran the ball very well, in my opinion. Keaton Mitchell had a great effect on the game. We've been waiting for Keaton Mitchell to get more snaps, so the opportunity definitely came with Justice Hill being out for that game. And Derrick Henry got over 100 yards, had a big 59-yard run. We're killing Daniel Faalele, who I'm still very concerned about, I'm sure as many Ravens fans are. This offensive line's been kind of wishy-washy for most of the season. We look at Voorhees and we look at Faalele the most because we see what their grades are when it comes to pass protection. It hasn't been great for the majority of the season. And we wonder, could that be contributing to why Lamar had missed practice that Wednesday because of knee soreness? He's taking a couple of nasty hits that you don't love to see. You don't love to see your guard, whiff on some of the blocks that he's had. Because Lamar's taking some nasty hits. And the Ravens' success, as we've seen with the results we saw at the beginning of the season, it hinges on how healthy your quarterback is. So you need better pass protection for sure. It seems like when you look at the numbers for Faalele especially, he's better at run blocking, a lot better. Pass protection is just pretty porous. You can't run the ball all the time, so that's a cause for major concern. John Harbaugh has come out and praised his offensive line for, he thinks every game they're putting the best 5 guys out there on the line. Look, John Harbaugh is going to have confidence in his guys. It's kind of how he coaches. It's kind of how he addresses the media. He's very vague, as we know. So it doesn't really surprise me that Faalele looks like he's probably going to stay in there. I'm hoping that Emory Jones sees the field a little bit sooner than later, but, that's kind of just a position you're going to have to pray on. But defensively, Ravens did a pretty good job against two rookie quarterbacks in Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. You're expected as a defense to do a better job against those rookie quarterbacks because of the inexperience. Ravens traditionally have been very good against rookie quarterbacks and showed face again when it needed to. The blitz was very effective. Kyle Hamilton, once again, was doing a great job just at all 3 levels, whether it's blitzing, whether it's dropping into that linebacker spot for coverage, or even playing a little bit of cornerback and safety. He's an all-world talent, and he continues to show that as this defense is really turned around, and the numbers are coming a lot better. Pass rush has been really good again. Draymond Jones showing an immediate impact. He's only been here for 2 games, but you can already see that he's elevated this pass rush to a degree. 4 straight win for the Ravens gets them to 5-5. They've earned themselves a chance to really turn the season around and potentially compete for that AFC North title.